So good evening, everyone. Thank you all for attending our virtual parent meeting. Again, if anybody misses the meeting and contacts you for details about what was discussed, you can let them know that this video will be put up on our YouTube channel within the next 24 hours or so, just so everybody can know what we talked about in today's meeting. First, I want to start with payments. I really appreciate that, most of our families are really doing a fantastic job with getting those payments in on time. We unfortunately did have to lose a couple of families who were not able to submit payment by the deadline. And I hate having to do that, but at the end of the day, we have to have the money to come in so that the studio can run as seamlessly as possible. So really appreciate families for submitting those timely payments. December tuition is due today, so this will be our last payment for this semester before the showcase, and then we go on our holiday break after the showcase. Attendance has been really good as well. We are getting into kind of like blackout day territory for attendance. We need every dancer to attend every class from now until showcase. We are putting the finishing touches on choreography. We will also start to incorporate our narration into classes as well. For those of you who do not know, we are going to be doing a remixed version of the Nutcracker. And so dancers will also have to know their entering and exiting cues, knowing the lines that accompany when they're supposed to come on stage and leave and things like that. So it's going to be really, really important for dancers to attend classes so that they don't miss that super important information. Another thing that I would like for parents to, so in addition to partnering with me to make sure the dancers get to every class, I also need you all to partner with me to start our Healthy Habits campaign. And if you are new or if you don't remember what Healthy Habits is, it is our campaign to make sure that our dancers are putting the best types of foods in their body so that they have the energy that they need to get through every performance for the showcase. Most of our dancers are in multiple classes, and so it's going to be really important for us to make sure that the dancers have the food that they need that's going to give them the energy that they need to give their best possible performance. They don't get winded and they don't get tired during their performance. So I will send, this will also be in our December newsletter, and it'll come out a few days before the month of December comes so that you all have time to look it over. But it's going to start the Sunday after Thanksgiving, so about a week from today. We're asking for dancers to remove pop or soda, fried foods, just any type of junk food, chips, candy, and those things, because that food is the type that doesn't give them the energy that they need to be able to get through rehearsals and to get through doing all of those performances in one day. Instead, we are asking that dancers only come to rehearsal with water or Gatorade, and when they're at home, they're eating lots of fruits and vegetables and as close to raw as possible, so steamed, things like that, frozen, and lean cuts of meat, granola bars, nuts, fruit, all of those things that we know are really going to give them the fuel that they need to finish strong as we get ready for showcase. I knew better than to start it before Thanksgiving because I knew it was going to be very difficult for the dancers and even myself to stick with the Healthy Habits campaign if we started it any early, but that still gives us, looking at my calendar really quick, we have 4 weeks before before we'll be on stage. And so if we start on the 28th, then that gives us 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks to kind of like flush out their bodies to make sure that they have what they need to get through that performance. I've seen it so many times, dancers, and they basically tell on themselves, the ones who do not start the Healthy Habits campaign and follow along with it. It's very, very noticeable in their performance. It's very noticeable in their endurance and their breath support. And this is not just for the older dancers. This is also for our stars 2, our younger juniors, literally in everybody, because most of our stars are in multiple performances as well. So cannot stress that enough. Healthy Habits starts on Monday, so you have a few days after Thanksgiving to get those leftovers in, and then we're really asking for families to help. And again, the details of that will be in the December newsletter, so you'll know exactly the types of foods that we are asking families to prepare for their dancers. Costumes are on their way. A few have already been delivered. So most likely your dancer will be trying on their costumes during their dance class time. We'll check to make sure everything fits the way that it's supposed to. And if it does, of course, we'll take pictures so that we can post on social media and marketing, getting people excited for the showcase. I will also post those pictures in the appropriate text threads for the parents of those dancers, depending on which age group we'll be doing at the time. I have a few pictures from today for the stars costumes that I'll drop in the parent text thread in a little bit. It's a really exciting time. The kids really enjoy putting on the costumes. I feel like it makes it real for them when they see the costumes, and they're just so excited. Once costumes come home, we're asking that you put your dancers' initials on the tag of their costume, okay? Not directly on the costume, because depending on what type of writing utensil you use, it could bleed through, and we definitely don't want that. So as soon as your dancers' costumes come home, please make sure to put their initials on the tags of their costumes. So when we get to the performance, in case anybody's costumes get mixed up and things like that, we'll be able to get them to the dancer that it actually belongs to. Most of the dancers also have our main attraction logo bag with their name on it. So these are just things that we want to implement and remind parents of, to make sure that we don't have a whole lot of costumes left over after the performance, and to make sure that each costume goes home with the right dancer. So yeah, costumes, I'm really zipping through. So actually, do we have any questions so far about payment, attendance, costumes, or Healthy Habits campaign? Going once, going twice. All right. So as I said, oh, did I hear somebody?
No questions.
Okay, fantastic. So like I said, we are doing a remixed version of the Nutcracker, which means there's going to be a little bit of acting and some narration that accompanies the dancer's performance. And so we are going to need some additional rehearsals to get that together. A lot of our dancers, well, about half of our dancers are brand new to main attraction, and some of our others, we have not done a full production like this since before we were in the pandemic. So we want to have a few extra rehearsals just to make sure that everybody is aware of what showtime is supposed to look like, and to give dancers a chance to run through it a few times so that they become more comfortable with what everything that the production is going to entail. So these extra rehearsal dates will be on Thursday, December 2nd and December 9th. We try to keep it to a day where a majority of the dancers will already be in the studio, so it's not hopefully it won't be a major time constraint or scheduling conflict. There it is. Took me a minute to get it out. A scheduling conflict because we already have classes on Thursday. So we're looking at probably like a 6 to 8. We don't want to have it any later than that because we know we don't want to disturb bedtimes and night routines and things like that. So we will do additional rehearsals on Thursday, December 2nd, and another one on Thursday, December 9th from 6 to 8 p.m. So the classes that are normally in session on that day, it will just roll into our Nutcracker rehearsal. Does anybody have questions about that? I want to make sure that you're understanding what I'm asking for. So these are not, this doesn't mean that other classes are canceled. This doesn't, these are, and it does not mean that we won't have a big dress rehearsal in the theater with costumes and lighting and all of those things. These are just some like rough draft rehearsals to get everybody together so that it's starting to so the kids are starting to conceptualize what this whole production is going to look like. Questions about that? Going once, going twice. All right. So in addition to those rehearsals on the 2nd and the 9th, our dress rehearsal is going to be Saturday, December 11th at the Parma Snow Auditorium. So this will be the this will be the rehearsal where each dancer brings all of their costumes, all their accessories. They need to have their showcase face, their showcase hair, tights, all those things. The December newsletter will give details about exactly what that's supposed to look like. That way you all have time to schedule hair appointments and all of that. As long as the hair is up out of their face, it needs to be in a high bun or a puff. You can also do braided styles if you want it French braided, or if they have box braids, as long as it can be pulled up into a bun and secured with hairpins. We want everybody to look as uniform as possible, but we also have a little bit of wiggle room as it relates to what the hairstyle is, or the base of it, as long as it can be pulled up into that bun or that puff at the very top of their head. No bangs, no hanging hair, curly tendrils, none of those things. Just a basic puff or a basic bun. We need volunteers. All the volunteers. For the younger classes, for the younger age groups, we're going to need, I think, about three volunteers for each room. So 3 volunteers for the stars room, ages 3 to 5, 3 volunteers for the stars 2 room, that's ages 6 to 8, and only, I think, 2 volunteers for the older dancers, because for the most part they can dress themselves. It's just a matter of crowd control and behavior management, just to make sure that they don't get sidetracked and that they're moving the way that they're supposed to get ready for their next number. Okay. Parents who volunteer are not required to purchase a ticket, so you will basically be able to view the show for free, and we will have the performance live streamed in real time in the dressing rooms, for 1, so you'll know where we are in the show, for 2, that way you don't miss your dancer's performance. So yeah, we really need your assistance with this. It takes a lot to put on a production, especially one of this caliber. When the last time we did it was in 2019, and we had it was a lot, but it was a lot more manageable because we had people backstage. You will have full instructions of what you need to do. You'll have full instructions of what each dancer needs to wear, who's in what class, and all of those things. So for anyone who may be hesitant because of that, I am very, very detailed when it comes to this process, because I want people to be on the same page about what happens backstage, so that it moves, smooth. Those who volunteer will also increase their eligibility for being considered for our spring 2022 scholarship applications. Spring is usually the only time of year that we offer scholarships. So most of the ticket sales from the showcase go toward our dance scholarship fund. And as long as dancers have been a part of Main Attraction for at least one semester and their families, parents, or some adult in their family have offered some volunteer hours to the studio, as long as you meet those two criteria, then you'll be able to submit an application for the scholarship. I sent an email that has a copy of that scholarship application. If you did not get it, or if you need me to send it again so that it's closer to the top of your feed, you can feel free to reach out to me and I can send that again. I sent it a few weeks ago because it's due actually next Sunday, November 28th. And then the decision will be made shortly after the showcase, once we tally up the ticket sales and see how much money is available that was put toward the dance scholarship. Last thing, while we're like ripping right through this. Last thing, spring semester, we are in the process of copying all of the current dancers into next semester. So most of the classes will be the same age groups, they'll be the same fee and things like that. A few of the classes changed their day or their time frame just because of things that make it easier for the teacher to be available and with the time and the space that we have available in the studio and things like that. I think the biggest change for spring semester is that the Stars 2 ballet class may be moved to Thursday. I'm going to send this in an email as well. That way, if there's Stars 2 parents who were not aware, or if that time doesn't work for them, we may be able to move the schedule around. But right now, like 90% certain that Stars 2 ballet is going to be moved to Thursday evenings from 6:30 to 7:30. And I think that is, so far, that's the only class that I think has changed days. The rest of the classes, there may be like a 15 to 30 minute time frame change from what it is now, or your dancers classes may not change at all. I know the Stars classes, the combo class and the hip hop class on Sundays, that class doesn't change day or time. And there's a few others that the day and time will remain exactly the same. There's just a few that we had to move around just so it worked better with the time and space that we have in the studio and teacher availability. Any questions? Because we are pretty much ending the meeting soon. And that was a lot of information. So I want to give you time to process and then time to ask questions if you need clarification on anything. Nope. All right. So that was pretty much it. Again, a lot of this information is going to also be in our December newsletter, but just wanted to give you all a chance to basically like a sneak peek of some things that will be happening, and then that the show order, so that you'll know what your dancers' costumes look like, which costume goes first and things like that. That will, if it's not in the newsletter, it will come no later than a week or so thereafter. You'll have it well before that dress rehearsal on December 11th, so that you'll know how to pack your dancer's bag, the extra stuff that they may need, and all of those things. Also, if anybody wants to purchase a dance bag, our logo dance bag with your dancer's name customized, please let me know and I can submit that order for you. The company is about 2 weeks behind. So if you want bag, I would suggest placing that order with me sooner rather than later, just to make sure that it gets here in time for the showcase and the dress rehearsal. So last time checking to see if anybody has questions or needs clarification on anything. Going once, going twice. All right, good people, we made it out in less than 30 minutes. So again, be on the lookout for that December newsletter, and hope you all have a great evening. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.